Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Gigawatt and it's time to dive into another exciting week of new game releases. In the week of November 11th, we've got some major titles dropping that are sure to get your gaming sessions buzzing. From cozy indie titles over challenging RPGs to atmospheric horror adventures, and quite a few remakes and sequels, this week has something for every type of gamer. So stick around as we explore all the new games you should have on your radar, and let's jump right into the details. The first game I want to talk about is Everholm, a minimalist open-world RPG blending cozy and magical themes with gameplay reminiscent of Stardew Valley. In Everholm, you play as Lily, a young girl who is spirited away to a mysterious island called Everholm, while searching for her missing sister, Melanie. Everyone on the island seems to recognize Lily, and she must establish a homestead, gather resources, and uncover the island's secrets with the help of a local witch, Morgana. The game focuses on building relationships with the island's residents, farming, ranching, and crafting a cozy homestead. However, there are also dark mysteries and lurking dangers that add an element of suspense to the otherwise charming world. The game will release on Monday, 11th of November, and is being developed by first-time indie devs Chunky Loaf and will be published by indie.io on PC via Steam. The next game is called Menace from the Deep, a roguelike deck builder with a noir aesthetic. Set against the backdrop of 1920s America, the game draws inspiration from the novels of Howard Lovecraft and the Cthulhu mythos.
Head, we need to study it in more detail before using it.
Players step into the role of one of three unique investigators, each with their own deck of battle cards and fighting style, battling sinister forces unleashed by an ancient monolith called Heart of the Sea. The gameplay centers around building and optimizing a deck of cards for strategic encounters, with each card representing powers, items, or abilities necessary to fend off increasingly formidable horrors.
Look who's here.
The card-based combat gameplay draws comparisons to Slay the Spire and features both a narrative-driven story mode, where you explore eerie locations and gather relics, equipment, and consumables, as you uncover the grim and tragic story of the secret society, and a free play mode, allowing for endless exploration and battles without progression constraints.
But these fears, it could be something far greater than we can imagine. We are playing with forces that could consume us.
Menace from the Deep is scheduled to be released on Monday, November 11th. It is both developed and published by Flatroom Games, who previously worked on Time Loop, Sink Again Beach. The game will be available on PC via Steam.
We've awakened forces we were never meant to touch.
Continuing with roguelike deck builders, we have Rogue Rollout, combining those elements with a dice game format inspired by the classic game Yahtzee. In this strategic and casual game, you roll dice, score points, and choose artifacts to enhance your gameplay as you progress through endless rounds. The game also offers diverse challenge modes, adding twists for veteran players, and competitive leaderboards, which allow players to track their achievements globally. Rogue Rollout has a release date of November 11th on PC via Steam. The game is developed and published by Peapod Inc., who previously worked on Tile Titans and Supernova. The next game is the cozy open-world adventure game Nightstones. In Nightstones, you wake up on an island called Mythica, where magical stones change day to night. Your goal is to explore the island, befriend quirky townfolk, discover hidden treasures, master magic and face enemies in a clever puzzle combat. You can glide from mountain peaks, sail through storms and uncover hidden treasures in the underworld. The gameplay combines elements of exploration, character interaction and puzzle-based combat. Inspired by classic action adventures, Nightstones balances storytelling with environmental puzzles and magical abilities that help players uncover the island's secrets as they work towards returning home. Nightstones is being developed and published by Advance 9 and will release on PC on November 11th. Next up is the latest installment in the popular Farming Simulator franchise, Farming Simulator 25. Along with updated graphics and physics, this version introduces new maps in North America, East Asia and Central Europe. And players can now cultivate new crops like rice and spinach, and raise animals such as goats, water buffaloes and different types of baby animals. Farming Simulator 25 also introduces seasonal changes and weather events, including twisters and hail, which add an extra layer of challenge. The game includes over 400 licensed machines from more than 150 top international brands like John Deere and New Holland. Farming Simulator 25 is being developed and published by Giants Software and will be released on Tuesday, November 12th on PC, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. The next game is Sea Power: Naval Combat in the Missile Age, a real-time tactics game that simulates Cold War-era naval warfare. The game lets players take command of naval fleets from either NATO or the Warsaw Pact, focusing on intense naval and aerial battles across multiple theaters, including the North Atlantic, the Mediterranean and the Pacific Ocean. Set between the 1960s and the 1980s, it recreates historical conflicts and offers players a strategic experience in maritime warfare, inspired by the classic game Chain's Fleet Command.
Eternal Father, strong to save, whose arm hath bound the restless wave, who bids the mighty ocean deep its own appointed limits keep. Oh, hear us when we cry to thee.
Sea Power offers a dynamic campaign that grows throughout the game, offering a variety of historical and fictional scenarios, such as the Yom Kippur War and the War of Attrition, with realistic naval combat involving over 150 naval units and 60 aircraft with advanced weapon and sensor modeling.
And those who on the ocean ply. Be with our troops upon the land, and all who for their country stand. Be with these guardians day and night, and may their trust be in thy might. Creator Father, grant, we pray, to those who serve both night and day, who stretch their rigs across the sea to service ships where'er they be. Oh, bless their efforts cross the foam and bring them ever safely home.
Sea Power: Naval Combat in the Missile Age is being developed by Triassic Games, which includes developers who previously worked on the popular naval warfare game Cold Waters at Killer Fish Games, and is published by Microprose Software. It is coming to Steam Early Access on November 12th. The next upcoming game is The Rise of the Golden Idol, a point-and-click detective game and sequel to 2022's The Case of the Golden Idol, which won Best Adventure Game at the Golden Joystick Awards and Best Indie Game at the Game Developers' Choice Awards. This sequel takes place in the 1970s, with players controlling a relic hunter who uncovers cases of crime and death, navigating a plot that intertwines 15 distinct mysteries against a backdrop of disco, parapsychology, and counterculture. Rise features a watercolor-inspired art style as opposed to the pixelated look of the previous game. Additionally, new mechanics such as movable windows for comparing clues and automated keyword tracking are introduced. The Rise of the Golden Idol is coming to PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, iOS and Android on November 12th and is being developed by Color Grey Games and published by PlayStack. For our next game, we're going puzzling with In Sync, a co-op escape room game for 2 players. In this game, 2 friends stranded on a mysterious island must work together to solve puzzles to find their way back home. It emphasizes teamwork as players rely on communication and synchronizing actions from different perspectives. In Sync is set to launch on November 12th for PC through Steam. The game is being developed by Clockout Games and will be published by Quali. Our next game is called Beastieball, a monster taming RPG that incorporates volleyball mechanics in a turn-based 2-on-2 format. In the game, you play as a coach who explores the world to find and collect beasties that have distinct abilities and personalities. Players can recruit and build relationships with beasties who can become friends, rivals, or more. These connections enhance gameplay through special combo moves based on each relationship. After signing these beasties to your team, you use them in volleyball matches. Each match involves turn-based tactics, where players can make up to 3 moves per turn, such as passing or changing positions. Beasties can take damage based on their distance from the net, and matches end when a team is wiped out or reaches a certain score. Beastieball is being developed by Wishes Unlimited, known for Wandersong and Chicory, and will be published by Clay Entertainment. It launches in early access on November 12th and is expected to remain in development until late 2025. Fans of the iconic video game Tetris will certainly be interested in this special compilation game, Tetris Forever. Tetris Forever includes over 15 different versions of Tetris, including some that have never been released outside of Japan. It also features a new game called Tetris Time Warp, which supports up to 4 players and allows them to experience different eras of Tetris in real time. This compilation also includes 90 minutes of documentary footage about the history of Tetris, featuring interviews with key figures like Alexei Pajitnov and Hank Rogers. Tetris Forever is developed and published by Digital Eclipse and will launch on PC via Steam and GOG, Switch, PS4, PS5, and Xbox One and Series X and S on November 12th. The next game is called Neo Harbor Rescue Squad, an action-adventure game where you play a rookie paramedic with a lighthearted story inspired by real paramedic stories from Asia. The game is designed around over 50 arcade-style minigames, where players treat various medical emergencies from stabilizing critical patients to performing CPR, all while under time pressure. With a unique triage system, players need to prioritize patients based on health conditions and manage chaotic situations by quickly switching between patients across complex scenes. Neo Harbor Rescue Squad is being developed and published by Banseco and will release on PC and PlayStation 4 and 5 on November 12th.
Neo Harbor Rescue Squad!
You better not let me down, rookie!
The next game is Trainee Death Simulator, an indie RPG, life simulation and strategy game where you take on the role of a trainee death, tasked with reaping souls to pay off a mysterious and seemingly endless debt. Gameplay combines decision-making with minigames and events, where players can choose to lay in bed and slack off, or work diligently under your senior to earn extra souls and collect outfits to switch up your style. With a mix of strategy and RPG elements, the game features a branching narrative with an engaging, humorous storyline and multiple endings. The game is being developed by Bone Nail and will be released on Steam on November 12th. Up next is the Souls-like indie action RPG Void Souls. Set in a minimalist top-down abstract world, it challenges players to explore a dark, geometric realm where they must battle various enemies, including sword-wielding foes and tricky archers, as well as brutal bosses. The game encourages players to adapt their strategies by changing their character's build and stats at bonfires, adding a layer of customization to the gameplay. Void Souls offers a variety of difficulty settings, catering both to newcomers to the Souls-like genre and veterans looking for a tough challenge. Combat involves exploiting enemy weaknesses and using their own traps against them. The game is being developed by Finite Reflection Studios and published by Modern Wolf. It will be released on Steam on November 12th. Next up is Temtem Swarm, a roguelike survival shooter game and spin-off from the popular game Temtem. Players can play solo or with up to 3 players in co-op mode, taking control of a Temtem creature trapped within a Tem card, fighting their way through waves of glitched and hostile creatures. You will have the opportunity to level up your Temtem, unlocking evolutions and new abilities that enhance their survival capabilities against increasing waves of enemies. Temtem Swarm is being developed by Crema and GG Tech Studios and will release in early access on Steam on November 13th. The next upcoming game is a puzzle platformer Mind over Magnet. This game follows the story of a robot and his magnet friend, as they use magnetism while they're trying to escape a factory. Players navigate a series of increasingly complex single-screen puzzles using magnetism to move blocks, open paths, and bridge gaps. Teaming up with magnet characters, each with unique powers, is essential for solving over 30 puzzles, across 5 different worlds that blend logical and spatial challenges. Mind Over Magnet is being developed by Game Maker's Toolkit, the creator of the popular YouTube channel of the same name, and will be released on November 13th on PC through Steam and itch.io. Next up is Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake, a visually enhanced reimagining of the classic game from 1988, updated in HD 2D style, which combines retro pixel art with modern 3D effects. In addition to modern graphics, the remake introduces new gameplay elements, including a monster arena where players can recruit and battle monsters for rewards. A new Monster Wrangler vocation is also available, which allows players to befriend certain monsters. Also included are new story episodes focusing on Ortega, the protagonist's father, and his original quest, further expanding the Dragon Quest lore.
And formidable monsters await.
The remake keeps the core party building and turn-based combat, while allowing customizations in party vocations and appearances at Patty's party planning place. With flexible difficulty options, the game caters to various player preferences, blending nostalgia with new content.
Your own path.
Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake is set for release on November 14th and will be available on PC, Switch, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S.
Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake. Available November 14th.
Okay, next.
Hey, look, this is a hot dog guy auditioning for the lead and unannounced action game.
We see you as more of a sidekick.
Oh, sure, I get that a lot, but check out my range. Okay. Rage! Empathy. Oh, hilarity! This guy! Strength! Hey, what game is this anyway?
The next game is LEGO Horizon Adventures, an action-adventure game which reinterprets the events of Horizon Zero Dawn in a LEGO-themed environment.
I gotta get me one of those. Ooh, sandwich. Sorry, gotta go.
Who is that?
That hot dog guy is Aloy, an amazing video game lead.
Thunderjaw went mad and is tearing through the valley.
Don't worry, I'll bring it down. This is gonna be fun.
This game lets players experience the world of Horizon Zero Dawn through a family-friendly LEGO lens, where Aloy, the protagonist, teams up with other characters from the original game to battle machine threats across LEGO-style environments inspired by the original Horizon universe, including forests, cauldrons, and iconic tailnecks.
Hey, whose side are you on?
Exploring,
Wow, what is this place?
collecting all the shiny things.
Players can enjoy both solo gameplay as Aloy and local or online co-op with a friend. The game also incorporates LEGO-specific elements, allowing players to customize the village of Mother's Heart with unique LEGO builds and outfits.
Oh, right, the Thunderjaw. Ooh, that's a big one. Here we go.
The game is being developed by Guerrilla Games, the developer of the original, in collaboration with Studio Gopo, and it will be published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. It will be released on November 14th on PC through Steam and Epic, Switch and PlayStation 5.
Leave it.
You fell right into my...
The next game is Little Big Adventure Twinsen's Quest, a remake of the 1994 classic adventure game Little Big Adventure.
No, I broke out.
The game is set on the planet Twinsen, where you play as Twinsen, a character tasked with rescuing his wife from a tyrant and overthrowing a self-proclaimed ruler. The gameplay mixes action-adventure elements, including exploration, puzzle solving and combat, with a focus on freedom of choice for handling situations. This remake features updated visuals, new music composed by the original composer, and improved gameplay mechanics, such as better camera control and smoother combat.
You left Citadel after all.
The game is being developed by the original developers of the classic game Adeline Software and is being published by Microids. It is scheduled for release on November 14th on PC, Switch, PlayStation 4 and 5, and Xbox One and Series X and S. Next up is the stylized first-person survival horror game Sorry We're Closed.
I'm not the victim, I am the system. I'm not in the wrong with my infinite wisdom. Follow my words even if I contradict them. It's my house, Michelle, I'll be the one to evict them. Don't want another demon.
Players take on the role of Michelle, navigating eerie environments, interacting with strange characters, and using her unique abilities to explore both mundane and supernatural realms as she attempts to escape a demon's curse.
Well, we are going up and down like a seesaw. Got me going along for the ride, got me going yeehaw. Time flies when you having fun.
The game combines retro-inspired mechanics with horror themes, offering players multiple endings through choice-driven dialogue and character interactions.
Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I can't help but teeter the scale. Can't help that I want to see you prevail, but I can't help but teeter the scale. Can't help the feeling that maybe I fail. Can't help the feeling that maybe I trail. The two of us is somewhat of a permanent jail. Got told I'm crazy like you hit the head right on the nail. Most of my dogs hit a 180 tucking their tail. Well, we are going up and down like a seesaw. Got me going along for the ride, got me going yeehaw.
The game is being developed by A La Mode Games and published by Akupara Games. It is set to be released on November 14th on PC through Steam and GOG.
Back and forth, 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 back and forth.
The next game is called Epic Auto Towers, an indie turn-based strategy game which combines auto battler, deck building, and roguelike elements. In this game, you purchase and combine different types of towers to build the strongest combo to withstand waves of monster assaults in procedurally generated levels. The game is being developed by Alexander Golovkin and is coming to Steam Early Access on November 14th. Up next is this charming open-world narrative exploration and adventure game set in a beautiful tropical paradise called Petit Island. In this game, you play as Lily, a curious cat on a quest to help her grandpa, once a fearless explorer, remember his adventurous past. Gameplay involves players taking photos to preserve these memories, meeting island inhabitants, uncovering treasures, and encountering various animals. The game is being developed by Zelo Games and will be published by Sodesco on PC, Switch, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. Up next is Veed, a story-driven RPG with turn-based combat and roguelite elements. Set in a visually rich world with hand-drawn art, the game follows the journey of Cyrus, a young hero seeking mastery in swordsmanship and magic. His adventure takes place across different realms, involving mysterious flying islands, dangerous creatures, and a system of choices that affect the game's outcome. The game features a non-linear story with various factions and dynamic character relationships, as well as interactive events that impose blessings or curses on the player. The game is being developed by Karaklan and will be published by Fulcrum Publishing on PC, Switch, PlayStation 4 and 5, and Xbox One and Series X and S. The next game is Mindcop, a non-linear whodunit detective adventure game. The game is set in the small hamlet of Maryland Crater Camp, where a murder has occurred. As the protagonist, known as the Mindcop, players must solve the crime within 5 days by exploring the minds of various suspects. The game combines a story-driven adventure with real-time puzzle-solving elements where players can mind surf into suspects' thoughts to uncover secrets and gather clues. Every decision comes with a time cost, so players must manage their time wisely to uncover the truth and navigate the web of lies. The game features multiple endings based on the player's choices. The game is being developed by solo developer Andre Garais and is published by Dear Villagers. It will be released on November 14th for PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch and PC. Up next is a second chapter in the NAIRI series, NAIRI Rising Tide, a narrative puzzle adventure game and sequel to 2018's NAIRI Tower of Shirin. In this sequel, NAIRI moves away from the grimy slums of the Tower of Shirin to explore the more elegant middle district of Shirin. The narrative unfolds as she uncovers more about the city's mysteries, delves into forgotten ruins, and faces an apocalyptic prophecy threatening the world. The game features a hand-drawn art style inspired by works like Studio Ghibli and Disney, offering a charming and melancholic atmosphere. The gameplay revolves around solving puzzles and exploring an interconnected overworld. New elements include a revamped inventory system, fast travel options, and a quality of life map to help with navigation. The game is being developed by Home Bear Studio, will be published by Houndpick Games, and is set to launch on November 14th and will be available on PC through Steam and Epic and Nintendo Switch. The next game is an atmospheric horror adventure game called Beyond the Darkness. The game immerses you in a dark fairy tale world haunted by nightmarish memories, where you help a young girl named Millie find her missing family. The game is set in a surreal environment where the line between reality and nightmare blurs, and Millie's only companion is an old lamp that can light her path. The gameplay combines puzzle solving and exploration with a focus on using light to ward off enemies. The world is filled with distorted spaces, and players must uncover the truth behind Millie's past, which is revealed through interactions with the environment. The game is being developed by My Little Studio and published by Indigo Publishing. It will be released on November 14th on PC via Steam. The next game is Industry Giant 4.0, a business and economic simulation game beginning in the 1950s, where you build and manage your own industrial empire. It is a modern evolution of the Industry Giant series, featuring complex, real-time strategy elements that allow players to build and manage vast industrial empires. In the game, players control multiple facets of business operations, including production, logistics, and finances. Additionally, the game features approximately 25 industries, each with diverse products, along with a wide range of transportation options such as trucks, trains, and ships to handle logistics. Industry Giant 4.0 will also incorporate economic challenges, shaped by seasonal demand, regulatory changes, and even global crises, requiring players to adapt strategies accordingly. The game is being developed by Don vs. Dodo and will be published by Toplitz Productions. It will release in early access on November 15th on PC through Steam and the Epic Games Store.
So call 1-866-JEFF-TODAY.
Up next is a survival horror game, Infestation Origins.
Looks like a new contract, and this one pays well.
In this game, you play as an exterminator from Vector Pest Control, tasked with investigating infestations that quickly reveal themselves as supernatural horrors. The game's setting spans eerie 1980s locations, such as a dry dock with a haunted steamboat, and a state park rumored to be plagued by the Mothman. Designed as a cooperative experience, Infestation Origins allows up to 4 players to team up, treating sinister infestations caused by twisted versions of classic characters and urban legends. The game will be released in episodes, with new content including unique antagonists, infestation types, locations, and so on. It is being developed and published by Nightmare Forge Games and will be released on Steam Early Access on November 15th.
Taking over the hotel from my uncle wasn't easy or safe.
The next game is called My Hotel, a 1950s inspired simulation and adventure game where the player becomes the owner of a vintage hotel filled with secrets and mysteries.
Next time, listen to me, not those whores.
You have to help us kill those bastards.
The goal of this game is to restore the once glamorous hotel to its former glory, while managing guest relations and also uncovering hidden secrets about its mysterious past.
They are using me and my hotel for their dirty business.
The gameplay involves renovating the hotel, managing guests' needs, and navigating factional intrigue among characters with their own backstories and motivations. Players can design and furnish the hotel with a range of vintage decor, while balancing complex social dynamics among guests. The game is being developed by Brainswapper and will be published by Creative Forge Games. It is set to be released on November 15th for PC via Steam. Up next is the quirky and colorful puzzle adventure game Great God Grove. The world is ending and the gods are squabbling. As the god's new divine mail carrier, you wield the trusty Megapon to interact with gods by absorbing and launching dialogue lines, which are crucial to solving puzzles and handling the conflicts between the quirky gods. The storyline centers on a heavenly chaos in which a rift has opened, threatening the world, while the gods argue rather than act. The goal is to reunite these gods to prevent an apocalypse, which requires solving issues by delivering the right messages to over 60 characters. The game is being developed by Limbo Lane and shares the gameplay and art style of their previous game, Smile For Me. The game is published by Fellow Traveler and will release on November 15th on Steam, Nintendo Switch, and Xbox Series X and S. Releasing in early access is Tricky Madness, a snowboarding arcade game inspired by classics such as SSX and 1080 snowboarding. The game emphasizes high-speed gameplay, flashy tricks and skill-based combos to capture the feel of extreme snowboarding. Players can pull off unique moves like spins, flips and grabs to build a freaky meter, unlocking powerful wicked tricks like the Superman or the Space Cowboy for high score potential. Tracks are loaded with secrets, branching paths and shortcuts, adding replay value and strategic depth. The game will include 8 maps, with 2 available during early access. These maps feature hidden areas to explore and a variety of race, freestyle and time trial modes. A full campaign mode on a connected mountain, complete with unlockable secrets and collectibles, is planned for full release. The game is being developed and published by Nathan Dirth and will release in early access on Steam on November 15th.
You tall enough for this ride? Try not to make yellow snow, okay?
Next up is the RPG Bioweaver. This game focuses on treasure hunting and character building with a unique twist. You can use basic programming logic to deeply customize your skill set, and you can also create organs with different attributes and functions with a special crafting system. The game is a mix of action, RPG and cyberpunk elements, drawing on mechanics like deck building, looter shooters and bullet hell, set in a sci-fi world. Developed by Emprom Game and Wild Kid Games, it is scheduled for release on November 15th on Steam. And that's it for this week's new game releases. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in one of these titles, leave a comment down below. I'll try to upload gameplay videos of a lot of these games later in the week. You can also catch me over on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/gigawatt. So if you want to come by there, I'll be very happy to welcome you. In any case, see you next week for the next video.